All right, so picture this. You're on like Upwork or whatever, one of those sites where you go for freelance gigs.
Right.
And you're looking and there's an AI bidding on the same jobs as you.
Huh.
That's kind of the whole thing that this Freelancer project is all about.
Yeah.
And it might be way closer than we think.
Yeah, I think what's really interesting about this is it's not just about, like, can AI code? It's
Yeah.
like, can it actually do it in the real world?
Right.
And can it make money?
Can it actually compete with humans?
Exactly.
So they're not just throwing like little coding problems at it.
Right.
They're like, go out there, make some money.
So they took almost 1,500 tasks from Expensify.
Okay.
That expense software everyone uses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and basically said, go for it.
Wow.
That's like $1 million in potential earnings.
Okay, so like real money on the line.
Yeah.
But how do you even like test that?
Well, I think that's what's really cool about this Freelancer thing.
Okay.
They split it up into two kind of parts.
Okay.
You got individual contributor tasks
Mm-hmm.
and then SWE management tasks.
Okay, so individual contributor, that's like solo coding gigs, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But what makes it different from like, those coding challenge sites?
Okay, so on a normal coding challenge website, they give you a test, and if you pass, you pass.
Right, right.
But this is different.
Okay.
They had engineers, real engineers from Expensify design like these whole system tests.
Wow.
So it's like, does it actually work in the real world, not just in theory?
So it's like way higher stakes than just, does the code technically run?
Absolutely.
It's got to actually do something.
Yeah.
Okay. And the management tasks, is the AI like a project manager?
So basically, they gave it code from a bunch of different freelancers.
Okay.
And it had to decide which one was the best.
Wow.
Like a tech lead would.
That seems like a really big jump. Like, not just writing code, but like understanding it.
Exactly. And what's really interesting about that is like there's actually money attached to each task.
Oh, wow.
So it's not just about lines of code. It's like, can you actually create value?
So the big question is, did it win the $1 million?
Well, not the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
But the top AI models like Claude 3.5 Sonnet got over 40%.
Oh, wow.
That's like over $400,000.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
But it does show, okay, AI's getting good,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not quite there yet.
Right. And I think that's a really important point.
Yeah.
This isn't saying AI is going to replace everyone tomorrow.
Right, right.
It's about like, what are they good at? What are they bad at? And what does that mean for the future?
So like, where did it shine? Where did it struggle?
Well, one really interesting thing is these AIs, they actually use tools to solve the problems.
Oh, really?
Like an engineer would.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's not just spitting out code.
Okay.
It has a simulated user tool.
Okay.
So it can test things, debug.
So it's got like a whole little pretend development environment.
Yeah, like looking at documentation, running tests.
So it's mimicking a real person.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense, though.
Yeah,
Even for us, coding is not like you get it right on the first try.
absolutely.
It's like you try again.
Yeah, and that's what they found in the study. If they gave the AI more tries,
Yeah.
more computing power,
Yeah.
it got a lot better.
Like it was actually learning.
Yeah, it was iterating.
Huh.
And that's what's really cool. It shows that maybe AI could go beyond just coding.
Okay.
Maybe it could do the whole process.
Like the whole software development thing.
planning, design, testing.
So not just fixing bugs,
Right.
potentially managing whole projects.
Yeah.
Okay, so that brings up a big question.
What does all this mean?
What does it mean for the future of software engineering?
Yeah.
That's what I really want to know.
Yeah.
Let's dig into that in part 2 of this deep dive. All right, so we've talked about how this AI did on those like $1 million challenges.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to know, like, what did it actually do?
Yeah.
Like, walk me through some examples, especially those SWE management tasks. Those were wild.
Oh, yeah, those were interesting. So
Mm.
let's look at one.
Okay.
The AI had to like improve the performance of Expensify's mobile app.
Okay.
So basically make it use less memory.
So make it run smoother?
Exactly. And they gave it a few different solutions, all from, real freelancers, and
Wow.
each one had like its own pros and cons and
Okay.
a price tag.
So the AI was really like playing tech lead, right?
Yeah.
Not just, does this code work, but is it worth it?
Exactly. I had to balance like performance with the budget. Tough choices.
Right. And here's the thing. The AI, Claude 3.5 Sonnet, it actually picked a different solution than Expensify's own engineers did.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
So it went against the humans.
Was it right?
It was.
Whoa.
It ended up using less memory.
So that's pretty cool. Like, obviously, AI is not always going to be better than humans, right?
Right.
But it shows that it can, like, bring something new.
It's like having a second set of eyes. Those eyes have read like all the code in the world.
Right.
And I think that's why it's so important to keep testing these AIs.
Yeah.
Put them through the ringer.
To see what they can really do.
Exactly. And it's not enough to just have them code.
Right.
It's got to be good code.
It's got to actually, work in the real world.
Create value.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what SWE shows.
Okay.
This is how you can actually measure that.
This whole thing makes me think, what did this mean for the future of, freelancing?
Right.
Software engineering.
Mm-hmm.
If AI can do this, what happens to the people who do this for a living?
It's a good question.
Are they going to need new skills?
Definitely. I think the whole landscape's changing.
What do you think people should be learning?
Well, obviously, understanding AI is good. But I think the really important stuff is the things AI can't do.
Okay.
Critical thinking.
Okay.
Problem solving.
Oh, yeah.
Creativity.
The really human stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Because even if AI can write the code, you still need a person to know what code to write.
So it's not about being replaced. It's about working with AI.
Absolutely. It's figure out what AI is good at and then focus on what you're good at.
Okay, so we've talked about the technical stuff, the skills.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the big picture?
Yeah.
How does this change, work in general?
Well, that's a question we're going to tackle in part 3 of this deep dive.
Ooh, a cliffhanger.
Yeah, we're going to look at the whole of society. What are the big changes? What are the opportunities? What are the risks?
Sounds like we're headed into uncharted territory.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where this goes.
Me too.
So join us for part 3, where we continue our deep dive into the future of work in the age of AI. All right, so we've spent this whole episode talking about these AI freelancers.
Yeah.
And especially the SWE project.
Right.
Seeing AI not just code, but make decisions.
Uh-huh.
Even going against what the human experts would do.
It's pretty wild.
It really is. It's mind-blowing.
It makes you think this isn't just about software, right? This is everything. Every job.
Yeah, anyone who works needs to be paying attention to this.
Absolutely.
But, how do we even process this? What's the big, takeaway?
I think it changes how we think about jobs, what a job is.
Okay.
We're used to thinking, okay, a person does these tasks.
Yeah.
But AI is breaking those tasks apart, automating some, helping with others.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes just taking over.
So it's not poof, all the jobs are gone.
Right.
It's more they're changing.
Exactly. It's like a spectrum.
Okay.
On one side, you got things AI can easily do.
Like what?
Data entry, repetitive stuff,
Mm-hmm.
even some coding.
Okay. And on the other side?
The stuff that's really human, creativity, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, it's that stuff.
So we got to figure out where we fit on that spectrum.
And fast. Before AI does.
Yeah, that's the race.
Yes.
It makes me think of that, the only constant is change.
Mm-hmm.
But this is different, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not just learning a new program. It's what does it even mean to work?
It's fundamental. It changes how we think about education, too.
Yeah, the go to school, get a job, you're set thing.
That's gone.
Gone.
With AI changing so fast, you got to be learning all the time.
So learning is the job security now.
Pretty much. You got to learn, unlearn, relearn.
Keep up.
Yeah.
It's a lot, honestly. Kind of scary, but also kind of exciting.
For sure. It's we're making the rules up as we go.
The Wild West of work.
Exactly.
So, for our listeners who are maybe freaking out a little,
yeah.
What's your advice?
Don't panic, seriously.
Okay, good start.
Embrace the challenge. Learn the stuff AI can't do.
The human stuff.
Exactly.
Be creative.
Be a good communicator.
Yeah, work with people.
And never stop learning.
It's not about fighting AI. It's about, riding the wave.
Love that. Surfing the future.
Maybe finding some new islands along the way.
Who knows? The future's not set.
Right.
We're building it now.
This has been amazing. Thanks for guiding us through all this.
Happy to do it.
And for everyone listening, just remember, the future's what we make it. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.